Well, we have Joshua Williams joining us. He's an associate professor of fashion management at the Parsons School of Design. So first of all, Joshua, we're seeing H&M close 5% of their stores. What does this say about how COVID-19 is affecting fast fashion brands?
Well, I think in particular, it's really about the brick and mortar story, that people are just simply not going out and shopping in store right now. As you mentioned at the top of this, that H&M has been doing very well online. And so I think this is just a strategic move to try to put more of their resources in places where they think where customers are going to be over the next year.
What is it about fast fashion that makes it so controversial for environmental and human rights activists?
Well, I think there's two real issues. Number one, the traditional model of fashion is that you would develop a season and then you would deliver that to the stores, sometimes several times throughout that year. But with fast fashion, you're getting new styles in almost every other day, which means that in about a 2-week period of time, you're seeing a whole entire movement of trend in the store. And that's quite astounding if you think about it, how much product is really moving through those stores on a biweekly basis. And so the environmentalists, of course, are very upset about this because we're essentially just buying and buying and buying. And what do we do with the old stuff? We simply throw it away. And a lot of that is ending up in landfills. The second piece is really the human resource piece, because if you're selling T-shirts for $10, that's really pushing the costs all the way down to the suppliers and the sourcing,
right.
People who provide the cottons and so forth. And so that really means that their profit is really tight.
Now, we're seeing a growing interest right now in secondhand buying, with Gen Z leading the way here. Why is that the case? What kind of threat does the resale market pose to fast fashion?
You know, I think that really started with a desire to find clothing that was more individualistic and more authentic. When you have H&M and Zara in every single city across the United States, across Europe, Asia, everything looks the same. We're all wearing the same thing. And I think there was a real desire, especially among late millennials and Gen Z, to start finding clothes that were much more authentic, unique, compared to those that you could find at these fast fashion retailers. What that means, though, is that that's taking a chunk away from the fast fashion retailers. I still think there's probably opportunity for them to really fill in the blanks, especially with the newer trends. But as consumers really desire more transparency and they are thinking about sustainability, they're definitely looking to resellers as a way to shop.
Right. Well, I guess, the question now is just where the future of fast fashion is headed, especially as a result of the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, it's a little hard to say for two reasons. One, because obviously fast fashion was very much geared towards people who wanted to buy things quickly and cheaply. And those people that have really been dealt a blow by the pandemic, they're going to potentially look for brands that are offering goods at cheaper prices. But at the same time, I think we've all sort of reevaluated what's in our closets during this pandemic. And I think there's sort of a shift in mindset now of why am I really buying this? And do I really need a $10 T-shirt? Or am I more willing to buy something that might last longer?
Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, we're also thinking we use the same, we always said this actually before the coronavirus pandemic, that we always use the same kind of 5 staples over and over and over again in our closet anyhow. So, do we really need all this stuff that we have?
True.
All right.
Yes.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, I got to cut you off here. We are on